Well, hello fall. We joke around about the weather, I feel like, almost every week. Poke fun at it. It's something we can't control, so why not, right? This last week, though, it is fall. It is Sunday afternoon right now. I am in a hoodie and a vest and a pair of sweatpants. The wind's blowing 15 to 20. It's cutting through you like a knife right out of the north. I'm just watching leaves fall outside my garage, one after another. It is fall. We talked to you a week ago, and we kind of talked about how many docks were still in Lake Minnetonka, surrounding lakes. Not the case. They are rapidly being removed from the water. Made a trip out to Wisconsin this weekend to pick up the kiddos from grandma's, and almost all the docks out on Wapagasset pulled. I'd say 90% of them pulled, gone. Minnetonka still has a little ways to go, but the teams out there that are pulling docks, kudos to you. You are working, I'm sure, overtime right now. You are crushing it. I can get out there when the sun's coming up and you're getting after it, and I can leave the lake when the sun's going down and you're still getting after it. So awesome. If you get a chance to thank those out there on the water doing that kind of work, just do it. Give them a high five, give them a wave at the access, and just get out of their way so they can get their job done. Fishing. What's going on this last week? You know, we finally have some days in a row where the water temps just don't get back into the 60s. And I think we are there from here on out. It did get pretty warm on Friday. Friday, it got into the 70s, which is crazy. I did not fish on Friday. I drove to Chicago pretty much and back to visit a school with Jack. My wife and I went out there and toured a college campus. Super fun. It was like 78 degrees out there. I believe here in the Twin Cities, if my memory serves me right, it was in the 70s as well, maybe lower 70s. Regardless, super warm this time of year. Boom, smack back in the face. Wind picked up. It got chilly this entire weekend. It's chilly right now. It's going to be chilly this entire week. Looking ahead to this week, before we talk about last week, we're going to get a bunch of wind. It looks like we're going to get a lot of wind, gusts into the 30s. Quite a bit coming. That is kind of to be expected. Those cool north breezes, that's what happens in mid to late October as you move into true fall. It's not for the faint of heart. It's the time of year where you just have to bundle up. Just do a little planning. Throw on a stocking cap. Get a pair of gloves on during certain times of the days. There's still a lot of opportunity to chase fish. Just think about it a little more. I've had some people chat about the weather conditions. Once again, like we talked about starting this video, we can't control that. We can't control what the weather does. We can control what we put on our bodies. We can control how we prepare, how we plan. All right, small rant over. This past week, how did we catch our fish? It was hit or miss, I'll be honest. If you fished with me this week as a client, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We had to move a lot. We zigged and zagged. We chucked. We winded. We switched patterns. We switched behaviors. We switched parts of the lake. We got in the wind. We got out of the wind. It's that time of year where things are just ever changing. And not just day to day, hour to hour. We had one day where we started the day with pretty solid wind out of the north. By the time we finished the day, we had a pretty solid wind out of the south. It stalled out for a period of time. So you just don't know what you're going to get. You get out there and you just chase fish as if that's your first time on the water, on that body of water. You look at the conditions, what should you do, and you go do it. You don't sit and think about what you did yesterday or any of that kind of stuff, especially if conditions are constantly changing. So for those of you that are tournament fishing right now still, which is not much, it's pretty much done, practice is very interesting. And I mean that because every single day you have to reanalyze and rethink what you're going to do. And tournament day could be different. As a fishing guide, as an angler that's on the water, any one of you for periods of time, you're seeing similar situations. So how did we catch our fish this last week? We caught them moving. We caught them chasing. We caught them throwing chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, swim baits, things like that. We caught them just chucking and winding and covering water. We weren't finding a lot of our bass schooled up. It was one here, one there, maybe two here, two there, but it wasn't like it is in the summer where you make 10 casts and catch 9 fish. At least we did not find that on Lake Minnetonka at all this last week. It was move, fan cast, bump, fan cast, fish, 20 more casts, fish. So we had to cover a lot of water, and they weren't necessarily crushing the baits. We didn't see a situation this last week where we had the rod ripped out of our hands. It was bump, just kind of a load. Oh, there's a fish there. So that just tells me activity level is changing. Lakes are turning over. A lot of things are happening right now on our metro area lakes that can definitely change or deter an aggressive natured bite. That being said, you get after it. One presentation I want to talk about outside of the moving baits I think we all know that is a key way to catch fish right now, and a key way to stay warm. This is going to be almost the opposite. And I'm going to show this to you because we've had situations where if we get a few bumps and in our minds we feel like there's fish there, we slow down. Soft plastic jerk bait, fluke baits, right? Definitely something you should throw into your arsenal. Just a plain old weightless Texas rigged Kamita, Texas rigged Senko. It's amazing how much this catches fish from fishing opener until we're done fishing in the boat. And right now it works extremely well because I can chuck this thing, I can get a spinning rod in my hand with these colder, chillier, windier conditions. I can get some fingerless woolly gloves on, I can be comfortable, I can fish braid so I have sensitivity, I fish a medium to medium heavy action spinning rod, and I can chuck this thing wherever I want. This is kind of a combination of a do-nothing / small twitch application. Many of you that are bass fishermen, anglers in general, understand the concept of fishing this Texas rig, a weedless Senko, weedless Kamita. That is your application right there. That's June bug. You can fish a variety of colors. I have green pumpkin. Mr. Twister now makes the SI, the salt infused Kamita. I love this. It sinks a little slower. It's got a ton of flavor and taste. Very, very, very awesome application to add to your arsenal. And tons of companies make this style of bait. So this is just to pitch it out there, let it sit, maybe twitch it, it kind of flops, let it sit, and you can actively kind of cover some of the water that you maybe just went through with a moving bait and got bumped but didn't get bit. This is kind of the cheat code to this situation. If they're not biting this, probably not biting anything. You move on. But this is an easy way to get after it. I just pitched this Texas rig, 3/0 hook. You can use a 3/0, you can use a 4/0, you can use a 2/0. So there's some variety, some versatility there in the hook option that you have tied on. I do a braided line to a fluorocarbon leader, nice 3000 series Shimano spinning reel, and this is my custom OW bass rod that I built at Thorne Brothers. This is going to be modded out at a 7.2. You can get a 7.5 foot option if you want to have it custom built, and away you go. But that is an easy way right now to catch fish. Throw it up there, let it sit, talk to your buddy, twitch it, let it sit, twitch it. So it's kind of like a wacky rig, but I can fish it around some of that dying, gross, gooped up weeds. Right now we're seeing a lot of our weeds kind of getting gross. Some are floating, lakes turning over, but there's still fish in those areas. If you're pulling up some green weeds once in a while, that's where this application comes into play. A lot of docks are being pulled. You can pitch it up shallow. It's not getting snagged up. It's not getting hung up. So easy way to catch fish. It helps you slow down, and it puts a bunch of bass in the boat. So that's one way I would think you'd want to add something to your arsenal, would be this application right here. Again, I'm not reinventing the wheel. You're probably all thinking I did that all summer, but this is something right now that really gets bit. No weight, rigged weedless, pitch it out there. It's almost a soft plastic fluke, but it gives you all the attributes of your Senko, and boom, away you go. This is putting a whole bunch of bass in the boat right now. So that's an easy way right now to fish. I want to talk about panfish again. Well, quick, let's talk walleyes. We're starting to get a lot of walleyes up shallower. The bank fishermen are doing better and better and better. Sundown, sunset bite is starting to go. Crankbait bite starting to go. Jerkbait bite starting to go. Jig and minnow bite starting to go, but still not full steam ahead. I'm seeing anglers, a lot of people that are very, very good out there on Lake Minnetonka, plucking 1 or 2 walleyes off a day. They're not going out there and catching 20 of them. Hopefully that changes. I've been saying that for 2 weeks. We've tried it constantly throughout the week. We have yet to continue to find a solid pattern on the walleye game. If you are, keep it quiet, because you're one of the few that's consistently out there catching them. It seems to be a window bite where there's specific times where these fish are really going, where I'm out there throughout the day, chucking and whining, multiple people in the boat, just trying to have fun, learn about the sport of fishing, and be active. Probably not always the best approach if you're specifically targeting walleye. There's some things you'll want to do differently. So, but that being said, the panfish, the crappies, you've seen me post all week, once again, about crappie fishing. It seems to constantly be the layup where we're catching a lot of fish, rods are bending, you're putting fish in the live well, it's a whole lot of fun. I don't care if you're 5, I don't care if you're 95, you're laughing, you're smiling, you're giggling, and we're just pitching little minnow baits. We're not overthinking it. 1 32nd ounce, 1 16th ounce head. You don't need to use a bobber. You can even catch them out of the boat in 7, 8, 9, 10 feet of water. Still standing weeds, or if you're on the dirty side of the lake, get out a little deeper where there's some hard bottom or some gravel, and just work the drift. Pitch it out there, feed a line, make sure you're close to the bottom. All of our fish are either on the bottom or hugging those tips of the weeds. They're finding their lowest piece of structure and they're hovering right at it. So that could be the top of the weeds. If you're in 10 feet, weeds 3 feet up, they're right there on the top of those weeds. Or it could be on the gravel, 14 feet of water right in the bottom. But what I'm getting at is they're hovering right at that piece of structure. They're not suspended over the middle of nothing. They're relatively close to the bottom. And that's where we're pitching just a jig head. I like the drop TG from Clam Outdoors. The 132nd is very, 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 very versatile. People ask me all week, even in the boat, what color should we use? It doesn't matter. We've proved that wrong every single day, where there's 4 different anglers fishing for crappies, and we have 4 different colors, 4 different styles. Just get the bait in front of their face, make it move, and if they're gonna bite it, they're gonna bite it. If they're not, they won't. It is literally that simple. So the Sassy Sting'em, we've cut a lot of fish on. This is that minnow bait from Mr. Twister. Super simple to fish, very meaty, holds on strong. Flick tail, pitch it out there, snap it, let it sit. A lot of times you need to fish it a lot slower than you think for 2 reasons. 1, you want to make sure that bait gets down there. And 2, they're just kind of coming up and grabbing it. They're not making 5-10 foot moves and crushing it. You just kind of want to aimlessly drift it right through where the fish are. And if you feel a bump, crappies will hit, stall out. Bluegills will go, they'll do that. Crappies will give you that thump, hit, drop your rod tip, set it. Where the bluegills will after you catch a few, you figure out that biting pattern pretty quick. So don't neglect the panfish, especially the crappies. A lot of fun right now. Good average size out on Lake Minnetonka for dinner. You're not catching a lot of trophies. We did get a 14-incher last week. So there are some big ones lingering around. Most of your fish are going to be 8 to 11 inches. That's going to be your average size out there. But if you're looking for table fare, put 10 of those nice 9, 10, 11-inch crappies in the live well, and it's pretty tough to beat now if the water temps into the 50s. Super tasty. So a lot of things going on this time of year. It's going to be a chilly week. It's going to be a busy week. As we move into this week, I will be off the water later in the week because we have the North Metro Ice Show. That starts next weekend. We're 6 days away, October 25th, 26th. The North Metro Ice Show at the Adrenaline Sports Center in Ramsey there. I'll be setting up all day Friday. I'll be there all day Saturday and Sunday. Come on out, say hi. I'll get some more stuff this week on that. But I'll be on the water here the next several days. And then I'll be taking a little bit of a break, focusing on an ice fishing show. And then I'll have one more solid week of fishing as we round up October. And then honestly, that'll probably be it for me. I'll probably put the boat away, rechannel my focus on ice fishing and family as we get into the month of November. And then boom, before we know it, it's going to be the St. Paul Ice Show and we're back on panfish on the ice. So that's what we know this week. Hopefully we see what happens this coming week. Bundle up, dress warm. It's going to be a chilly one this week, I promise you. But we can still get out there and chase some fish and have a whole lot of fun. So have a great rest of your weekend and have a great week ahead. And if you do get out there and catch some big fish, smile about it, fist bump your buddy, and go have a great time.